Oh, hello, hello, hello. I'm going to switch some audio before I start properly. Maybe not. Maybe I can't be bothered. Well, evening. I hope you're all doing well out there. Chaotic start. I wasn't going to go live. I just decided very last minute, so something's probably broken. I don't know about it. But never mind. Hope you're all doing well out there. Oh, I'm in a bit of chaos. Don't know why I did this. But there you go. You can see I've got the food processor out, ready to go. I'm just going to fiddle with some audio for a second. I'll be right with you. I'm probably all right with that, to be honest. All right with that. I'm going to go disappear for a second. I'm back. There we go. I don't think I need this. I think that's going to pick me up okay. Yeah, let's bin this. There we go. How's that? Oh, it seems to be alive again. Audio's been very weird. Oh, anyway. Right, I'm also struggling with the chat because the chat's not rendering properly. So if you are out there live in YouTube land, it'd be great if you could say hello. Or, of course, Twitch land, not just YouTube land, but Twitch land. It'd be great if you could say hello because chat is really misbehaving on me. Oh, well, we'll figure it out. As I said, not a strictly planned recipe video tonight, but just some jobs I need to do. Just checking that's all, yep. I, this year, have been experimenting with this book. Salt and Straw, America's Most Iconic Ice Creams. Absolutely love it. And this has... I can't tell you the amount of things I've made out of it. If you are at all interested in using ice cream, making ice cream, messing about with ice cream, I can't recommend this book enough. I will stick it in the description of this video later when I have a bit more time. Yeah, so yeah, I'm really not set up for success today, as they say. But I've got the oven on, so I'm going to start with mixing up a batter for this essentially sticky toffee pudding, sort of Americanized. So let's start with that. Dead easy. Right, now, the downside to this book, as much as I love it, is that this book for everything is in cups, and I hate working in cups. I just find it messy, I find it rough, inaccurate. I don't like it, but I can't be bothered to convert everything. So we're just going to have to live with it and see what happens. Oh, there we go. Right. I wonder if I try refreshing that once more. Just trying to get chat to load properly because I have to have it on a separate window and it's a bit annoying. Let's pop that over there. Move that over there. It's all a bit rando Calrissian. Pop that there. Does that help? Maybe. Pop that down to the bottom. Just pop something there. There we go. So at least I can see a message coming back to myself, which is a bit lame, isn't it? But at least something's happening. Good. Right. Enough of that. Let's get on with this. Let's get my cup measurers. So we start with half a cup of all-purpose flour. Another wonderful Americanism. What do you guys think? I see a recipe with cups that gives me the heebie-jeebies because, like, yeah, that's not super level. I'm just not interested in getting a knife out, sorting it out. Put things over there when I'm finished with them. A third of a cup of soft sugar. This is what I mean, you get these lumps, you get these bits. When's a third of a cup not a third of a cup? I don't know. And then we, for some reason, with these American baking recipes, we switch over to tablespoons for butter. And I think I've learned from American food creators that your butter is marked with tablespoons. Well, I'm just going to guesstimate it like that. Just check the health of everything here. That's going through there. Lovely. And this one, that's going through there too. Perfect. Let's close that. That'll be weird. Right, so butter, egg, pop an egg in there. And a little bit of vanilla. A bit low on vanilla actually. I thought I'd ordered more, but I've only got a tiny bit left. I have got the real thing. Also, it needs a bit of steeping. I'm not in the mood for it just at the moment. Hope you're all doing well out there. If you're in the UK, hope you're doing all right in the heat. And salt. Half a teaspoon. That's about that much. Oh, hello, Christian. Thanks for popping in. Thank you for saying hello as well. I was getting worried it wasn't working because you're not obliged to chat by any means, but usually by this point someone said hello, so it's good to know there's people out there. A half teaspoon of baking soda. That's another one that we clash on between the US and the UK because we have baking powder and bicarbonate of soda. But I've learnt over the years that this is what we call bicarbonate of soda when you say baking soda. Christian, this is a recipe from the Salt and Straw Ice Cream Cookbook, their second book. It's excellent. Hello, Hatting Christo. Sorry, it's a little bit small on my screen. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping by. And then finally, a quarter of a cup of pitted dates. Now, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because a friend of mine was gifted some very posh dates. Let me turn on the other little camera. There we go. That wasn't turning on for a minute. Somehow. Oh, it's not rendering to the screen. That's not good, is it? It's all go this evening. Let me turn that off. Turn it back on again in the classic DIY style. There we go. Lovely posh box of dates there. And he asked if I had any ice cream recipes. And I said, boy, do I. So, we want a quarter of a cup of pitted dates. That's not very many, is it? So let's move those out of the way. We'll prep those here. Move those out of the way. Move those out of the way. You can see I'm not quite there today, am I? What's that there? Those are cakes and pastries. Well, that's where we are tonight. Hatting Christo. I mean, a quarter of a cup of dates. It's not going to be anything, is it? I have got a few dessert options on my channel. They always do worse than everything else I do, to be blunt. I think it's because there's specialist channels out there for cakes and baking. I've done quite a few Marco Pierre White desserts from his White Heat cookbook. I did a trifle live once. Let's do a couple more. Yeah, I've done a whole bunch. But they're not in any sort of playlist. You'd have to hunt around for them. But a good shout. That's something I'll implement. Just going to tear those into the processor. It's definitely a quarter of a cup, yes? It's not very many. Process to a smooth paste. So this is the bit where it makes loads of noise. Let's wash my hands because they're covered in sticky date stuff. Get my cloth. Are you specifically requesting something? What can I call you for short? Is Christo okay? Is that all right? If it's not, let me know. Just it's quite a long name for me to say. I'm going to activate the food processor now, so it's going to be noisy for a few seconds. Needs a bit of a stir up. I've also done a fair amount of ice cream on and off throughout this channel. I did Heston Blumenthal's bacon and egg ice cream. Excellent experiment, that one. And then it asks for a quarter of a cup of pecans, which I have here. So to expand this recipe a bit more fully, so we're making essentially a sticky toffee pudding, and then when it's cool, we're going to break up chunks of it into an ice cream base. I'm not going to be able to do that this evening because I need to make up some base, but we'll do bits of it. There, that's done. Dump the mixture into the prepared baking dish. Well, I haven't prepared a baking dish, so there. Does it show I'm not super prepared for live streaming tonight? It's just me by myself, no one would care. Who's that shouting Spud from over there? Mrs. Tree Slayer, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I've seen you've been live recently, but I haven't been able to catch you. It's sort of coincided usually with my dinner time. So I haven't been able to join in. But nice to see you, Mrs. Tree Slayer. I have seen you around. So this is going to need to go in there. Christo, you're thinking macaroons? Macaroons or macaron? Wintry puds and desserts from around the world. Yes, obviously not right now, but because where I am, it's about 30 degrees C. I don't know what that is in US money. It must be 90, something like that. And we don't handle the heat well here. We're not built for it. Yeah, no problem. Nice to see you, Mrs. Tree Slayer. Thanks for dropping by. So this batter, it's on the dry side. I'm going to check I haven't misread it, and it said, oh, add some water to it as well. No, that's going to be really dense. Mrs. Tree Slayer, I remember us talking before. You live in the desert, yes. Macaron. I did think you meant macaron, macaroons. I don't know where you're from, Christo. If you're from the UK, we have something called a macaroon, which is a very small biscuity thing. But we also inherit the French macaron. Speaking of pastries, you made the video about the 3 Nigella cakes. Of course, Christian, I remember talking about it. I tried several, yes. Nigella is the queen of baking, and once her bake-off season starts properly at the end of the summer here in the UK, everyone will be flocking to her recipes. 43 degrees, Miss Trisha. Yeah, it's hotter. I'm not trying to win a competition here, but we can't handle it over here because heat is so temporary. But we are experiencing a very extended run of heat here in the UK and parts of Europe as well, I understand. So it's not made a lot of cake batter, has it? Look at that. It's made like, I would say, a cricket ball's amount. And that's got to go in an, again, 8 by 8 inch pan. Mrs. Treeslat, I'm working for an American cookbook here, which I love very much, but it does mean I run into translation difficulties. It's the, let me tell you that, the Salt and Straw Ice Cream Cookbook, which is excellent. Well, Christo, welcome in from South Africa. That's my point, Mrs. Treeslat. You're used to it in that country. You've got the facilities, you've got aircon, you've got screens, you know, you're kind of built for it. You're acclimatized to it as well. We're not. It suddenly hits us. And right now, even talking to you guys now, and I've hardly done anything exerting, have I? And I've got a little sweat on, I can feel it. Really gross. Well, it's not a lot of base, but I'm going to trust the recipe. I am, however, just going to grab some paper just to line that. 1 second. Here we go. I'm just going to pop this in there. So what is in the processor? So it is simply flour, sugar, dates, butter, egg, baking soda, vanilla, salt and pecans. Very stiff batter, look at that. So again, if you missed the top end of the recipe, that we're not actually making it for the cake's sake, but we're making a cake we can fold into an ice cream. So it sort of doesn't matter. Even if it doesn't work, it's only going to end up as chunks in the ice cream eventually. So it's not a big deal. So let's just chuck that in there. Look at that. It's made the tiniest amount. Use a spoon to spread it evenly. And I reckon that's going to take 20 minutes to bake. I don't know, that recipe doesn't feel right, does it? That doesn't feel right at all. As I said, not the end of the world. And we are going to add a sauce to it. Like I said, I think it's going to make something tasty. It's definitely going to make a cake, but it's lacking moisture, isn't it? As I said, it's going to get folded into ice cream, so it sort of doesn't matter. But if I was making this just for this sake, I'd be like, not sure about that. Anyway, that's going to go in the oven now for about, well, I'm going to check it after 15 minutes because it's a tiny amount of cake. Be right back. Okay, so then while that's going on, so we'll want us to make a sauce, but I'm going to do that in a bit. What I'm going to do for now, after getting him out of the way, is make a load of ice cream base. Now again, reminder that we are working from the Salt and Straw cookbook, and it has the most incredible ice cream base that I must have made 20 times this year already. Absolutely excellent recipe. You can find it online, independent of the book, if you're interested in ice cream bases. But we'll assemble that in just a second. And I'm going to make an absolute ton of it, because it's going to form the basis of one of my next videos. So there's going to be a lot going on. And I need 5 batches of ice cream plus 2 for this date recipe. So I'm making 7 batches of ice cream. Just double checking I haven't forgotten something. Right, let's get that on. For those of you out there in Chatland, what are you eating today? That's a lot of ice cream. Yeah. Well, I made a 6 batch this week because it was my wife's birthday and she took some in to where she works. So I got all these little tubs. I just had one this evening actually. I got these little tubs from Amazon. It's got a lid in the spoon like you've been to the cinema or the theatre. Made a whole batch of them she could take to where she works. Had a lot of fun. Good. Right, so now I'm going to make a whole chunk of ice cream base. I'm going to need a massive pot. Going to make a lot of noise. Yeah, little tiny little pots, just off Amazon. I presume in reality, people in the trade would order them. You might have seen I've just reached for a different book. It's the other Salt and Straw cooking ice cream book, which is their first one, which is good, but not as good as their second one. This first one, it's a bit crazy. And what I've done for their base is I've converted it into grams so I can understand it. Because if it's not in grams, I struggle. So I need to assemble some different ingredients. Put some things away, won't need that anymore. Won't need this, won't need this, I don't think. I think that's everything. Christo, let's look at that. You made orzo, love orzo, with sweet paprika, chorizo and chicken. Killer dish. Was that for the restaurant where you work or cafe or whatever it is? Or is this just you experimenting at home? That sounds great, by the way, particularly... oh no, the weather's quite cool in South Africa. I have some colleagues in South Africa. And your seasons are pretty much inverse of ours, aren't they? In the UK. I would definitely eat that. You don't see enough orzo. Really underrated pasta. Okay. I would also like to know, Christo, because I'm really interested in that dish. Does anything make a sauce from that? Or are you just using the oils from the chorizo? What, you know, or is there a tomato base for a sauce, or what's happening? Like an espagnole? So I've got sugar. Skimmed milk powder. Right, now some xanthan gum. you've not used xanthan gum before, it's a byproduct of the brewing industry. You only need a tiny amount. What are we saying there in that? Chorizo, the tomato paste, chicken stock. Yeah, it's pretty much what I expected. Sounds great. I'd love to try it. Got my tiny little scale here because I only need 3 grams of this. Actually, I need 2.5. That sounds lovely, Christo. What sort of restaurant is it that you work in? Is it traditional? Is it fine dining? Is it a cafe at the side of the road? What sort of place is it? Right, we'll probably turn him off for a minute. We don't need him. And don't go anywhere. I just need to go to the fridge and collect some cream and milk. So I'm just going to put this on. I'll be right there. And we're back. That was easy. Let's just cut to Mrs. Treeslayer. You're off. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Always good to see you. And if I can come back to your messages, Christo, a French bistro style on a winery in the Overberg region. Very nice. Sounds very good. I presume taking advantage of all the wonderful produce you have in South Africa. Right. About 1,200 of that. That's good. Right, and then some liquid glucose, about 150. Reset my scales. Liquid glucose, such a hard ingredient to work with. Hey, Fulci, there he is. How are you doing? Sorry, just concentrating on measurements here. in there. It's good, thanks, Fulci. I found you earlier in that other YouTuber that was doing the Marco Pomodoro pasta. Spotted you in the comments there. Right, I'm just going to turn my back to the camera for a minute because I just need to melt this liquid glucose slightly. I'm not cooking it, just making it warm enough to melt. Just melting that through. So let's put the lid back on that. Get that away because that will make a mess otherwise. Oh, just waiting for that just to melt through, not warming it. Then that'll be our base. I'm just going to add cream to it, then we're done. Yeah, that's pure algorithm, that, Fulci. I have seen that channel before. Can't remember what of his I've watched before. Guy with the hands. It's like unfiltered cooking or something. So for those of you just joining us, we've got a cake in the oven. It's a bit on the small side, but it'll do. Oh, that's nowhere near. So Christo's been making his orzo. What has everyone else been cooking and eating today? Despite this channel, there's no snobbery here. If you've got a takeaway, that's fine. If you've been eating instant noodles, that's fine too. I'm just interested what people have to eat out there. He did a video replicating the instant stock. Oh, I didn't see that one. Or did I? Maybe I was researching that when I was looking at my own one. Yes, I think you're right, Fulci. I think that's the one of his I've seen now. When I was researching making that, he was basically doing the Chris Young stock, wasn't he? I think you are right. So you made a lamb jalfrezi. Excellent. And Chris Young, he needs no help. He's doing fine. Okay, so this is about 80% melted now. So I don't really want to cook this. Just, as I said, melting. So who are you talking about now, Fulci? Are you talking about Chris Young, or are you talking about that other channel that I forget the name of? Chris Young does seem nice. He doesn't seem terribly comfortable in front of the camera. It doesn't hold him back, but I always get the feeling he's like, I'm just doing this because I have to. Good, happy with that. Now we're going to add a lot of cream. unqualified cooking, that's it. Yeah, and I don't think there's any secret that doing videos of other people sort of makes them end up in your feed. It's pretty standard stuff. Yeah, well, I don't know what point you came in, Faulty, but I'm doing a bunch of things here. None of which we will finish on stream today. But I've got that essentially a sticky toffee pudding in the oven. And then tomorrow that will end up being folded into an ice cream base. But I'm making lots more ice cream base so that I can essentially make my next video, which is all about ice cream. We've got a couple of switched on chefy types in the chat today. Who's ever made ice cream with dry ice? Because that's something I'm going to attempt, and I've never tried it before. So, back to cups again, just to confuse me. Landed in the xanthan gum. Yes, xanthan gum is over there. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of different things going on right now. Yeah, it's all right. I understood what you meant. Get that out of the way, it's going to make a mess. So this is going to be the sticky toffee sauce that's going to go on the cake as it's finished. Brown sugar. Did I put that away? No, I put it behind me. Good. Third of a cup. Fulci again, thanks for those video links. You've seen some of the efforts of that recently. It's been a lot of fun going through those. I think it's interesting how much better the quality of the videos got in terms of resolution. It's quite a difference. Completely missed the pan there. It's all good. A little bit of salt. That cake won't be far off done now. So we're going to heat this and then stir in some more cups of pecans. Oh, these cups, cups, cups. Do my head in. Right, hopefully that's the end of the dreaded cups. Let's go check how the cake's doing. Yeah, not quite there. That's just making a sort of toffee sauce over there. Oh yes, I was supposed to be measuring out pecans and I got distracted. 1/4 cup of pecans, easy enough. Give that another stir. Good, good, good. Right, let's get some containers for this ice cream base. So these are just containers I'm going to divide the ice cream base up into. I don't know if this is, I probably only need 7, but you never know. Give that another stir. Again, for those of you coming in late, I'm not super prepared tonight. Is the way to put it. Not super prepared. So this is just cream, milk, sugar, liquid glucose, xanthan gum and skimmed milk powder. That's all it is. As I said before, lots of this is very available online if you look around. The salt and straw base, very available. Thought you no need to apologise, man. It's great that you stopped by at all. Yeah, so this is just plain butterfat base, they call it, from Salt and Straw, and it's my favourite base. It's so universal. Looks with loads of stuff, but I'm not going to make the ice cream till tomorrow. Chill it right down early in the morning. Well, whenever I wake up, I'll get this on. So let's move that to the other side for a minute. Panna cotta, like a litre of panna cotta. So this is toffee sauce, essentially. Just over at the back here. Cream, butter, sugar. Is that everything? Yeah. And I reckon that cake might be ready now. No, another couple of minutes. So let's... I know what I wanted. Chop up some pecans while we're waiting. Taking a few minutes to come together. There we are. I think we can tidy up a bit now. Let's get some things away, restore some order. It's taken a while to thicken this sauce over here. I don't want to move the camera, it'll probably break. Never used glucose syrup before. I mean, that's a job lot from Amazon. It's about £7 for that tub. But when you're making ice cream, instead of using corn syrup, which they use in the States, of course. Adam, mate, how you doing? You've been playing with your new camera? Guys, if you don't already, go figure out how to follow Adam on his channel. I would say we sit at opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm always looking for really interesting, expensive ways to cook, and Adam very much isn't. Looking for budget-friendly recipes, but still feeling like you're treating yourself. And I would like to think a good pal too. Felt you've made toffees as an Xmas present, but use corn syrup. Yeah, liquid glucose will do the same job. And no, this is not the right knife to be doing this with. Can't be bothered to get another knife out. Adam, is that pork video you're putting live tomorrow, or is there something else in the pipeline? Whew. It's warm here. Pork fillet one, so that means you're the kind of person who's had to film it twice, right? Because you've already shown me the final shot of that, and yet you've got to go back and do all your B-roll and stuff. Ah, the life of a content creator, eh? Just constantly doing the same thing over and over again. Just waiting for this caramel sauce, which is super close, but not quite there. Okay, that's finally ready, so we'll pop that over there. I'll have a jiggle about so you can have a look at it. Let's turn this on so you can have a look. I'll bring that over there. It's essentially a sticky toffee brick. That, so you can turn it that way around. Who we got over there? I can see a load of chat happening I'm not caught up with. You ask whether you're sunburnt to Chris, you were at Goodwood Festival of Speed. Yeah, probably. Test run for the recipe. The kitchen is tough. And It Means Sun pops in. You're playing some silly frog game. Son, I meant to say to you, so I subbed to you yesterday on Twitch, but the ads kept going for like 4 minutes and I had to go. So I subbed to you, but then I had to go. So if you called me the best streamer ever, I missed that. I'm sorry. But thank you. All right, this is a bit more pale than I was expecting. But I'm okay with it. Yeah, it was bad timing. So, made this toffee sauce. Just going to fold all these nuts into it. And then that's just going to sit on there and set. Yeah, son, we're making a, essentially a sticky toffee pudding, but most of it is going to end up in ice cream because we're using the Salt and Straw cookbook. I can't hold it any closer because of that. Excuse me. Right. So that's just going to chill out and obviously saturate that pudding, soak right into it. When it's cool, I'm going to chop up some pieces of it and add it to the ice cream base with a bit of cinnamon and then churn it. That is it. That's what we're going to do. You like the combined chat? Yes, I like it too, because obviously people are coming from different platforms and I want the conversation to try and continue and overlap. And obviously if I've got Twitch over there and I've got YouTube over here, you can't hear each other. This thing over there quite often fails though, I found. I'll turn on my, when I first turned on the computer, that wasn't loading at all, and then it just started loading. I don't know, I didn't do anything different. I don't know what happened there. So, usually I'd leave this on the side. I'm actually going to put it in the microwave, not to heat up, but just so that it's somewhere sealed where bugs can't get at it while it cools down. So, I'll tell you what I'm going to try and do, just because it's a stream. Let's get in and try some. I asked earlier and nobody answered. I think people had gone away. Has anybody ever made ice cream with dry ice before out there? Right, this is going to burn my mouth off. That's nice, but I was gutless and I should have let that sauce cook out further to get more developed caramel flavour. As you know, it's going to get folded into ice cream, so it's not going to matter a big deal, really. So let me put that away. And after an hour or so, when that's cooled, Fulci, you've never made ice cream? Wow. So, I mean, all that ice cream base that I made earlier, which is just sat on the side, really needs to go in the fridge, but I'm busy talking to you guys. Let me backtrack a bit. So there'll be a new video going live tomorrow for members, which is about steak. Hope you all enjoy that one. Be live for everybody else on Sunday. And then once I've done that one, let me just turn this other thing off. That's better. Once I've done that one, I will be making a video on different ice cream techniques. So that's why I had to make so much base, because I'm going to show you different methods of making ice cream, including, I'm not going to do no churn actually, all of them will involve churning technically. And I'm on the fence whether I should do the dry ice method, but I think I will. But as you may know, you need to pre-order dry ice so that it arrives, so you can make it there and then. Yes, so This is one of those irritating live streams where I do something and you guys have sat through it and you're not really going to see the outcome, because I just wanted to make that cake. I just wanted to make some base, and as it happened, I thought might as well go live. It's been a while. So that's the rough schedule for the next couple of weeks. And then after that, I don't know what, I'll be starting to get into holiday territory then. I generally don't post much in August. One, because it's hot. Yeah, loads of ice cream vids are on the way. I've always wanted to do more because my videos on ice cream maker reviews have always done really well. But I've never done a real proper ice cream recipe video. So we will see. So I think I'm probably going to call it a night there. It's been great hanging out. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in, all of those. Sun and Fulci and Christo and Adam and Christian and all the others that popped in. Great to see you. But I'm just going to now tidy up and put everything in the fridge, and then fingers crossed I remember to post a picture of the final result on the community page, probably sometime tomorrow evening by the time it's churned, gone back into the freezer to set. But again, thank you all for hanging out tonight. It's been a lot of fun, despite various technical issues as usual. Have a nice weekend, and I will catch you all very soon. Goodbye.